Mr. Vice President, congratulations on your victory in South Carolina last night. What do you think it does for your campaign?
Well, I think it's a big boost. I think it starts a real comeback, and I think we picked up a lot of delegates, practically.
Yes. So Joe Biden had possibly the worst interview appearance in the history of interview appearances, maybe ever. To be fair, every time Joe Biden speaks words in public, it's at least a minor disaster, and I'm sure that Biden may have had far worse interview appearances. He certainly had far worse moments. But for his own sake, let's hope that this was actually the worst interview of his career. So in a rare appearance on Fox, Sleepy Joe Biden came on Fox News Sunday with Chris Wallace last Sunday. Now, I'm not going to go through the whole interview, but after a long interview filled with stumbling and mumbling and just generally being an incoherent mess that makes no sense, Wallace started asking Quid Pro Joe about his gaffes. Oh, so in case you've been living under a rock, okay, and like a very big rock, Joe Biden never has any clue where he is or like what exactly he is doing there. The man actually makes no sense when he speaks, and oftentimes his sheer inability to like speak words often causes a disaster. Much worse than forgetting what state he was in, which he's done like 8 different times. Biden has, well.
And by the way, I sit on the stand, and it get hot. I got hairy legs that turn blonde in the sun. And the kids used to come up and reach in the pool and rub my leg down so it was straight, and then watch the hair come back up again. They'd look at it. So I learned about roaches. I learned about kids jumping on my lap. And I've loved kids jumping on my lap. And I've loved kids jumping on my lap.
Can you imagine this guy as president? I mean, like, we all know he was a public figure under the Obama administration. Like, he didn't actually do anything, right? But this man is actually mentally unfit to lead a country. He has no clue what the hell is going on. What the hell is going on, okay? We have tensions with Iran, hypothetically. Let's say we have tensions with Iran. The man's gonna pull out his big stick and yell, "Back off, Saddam Hussein." I mean, he's losing his mind. It's really a shame that Wallace didn't actually grill him about the one I showed, because, really, Wallace let him off easy. But Wallace did actually ask him about some of his other verbal disasters, and my God, it was just hilarious.
Mr. Vice President, I don't especially like asking you about this, but it is an issue in the campaign, and that has been your sometimes shaky performance on the campaign trail. Here's a story that you told at least 3 times about Nelson Mandela. Take a look.
I had the great honor of meeting him. I had the great honor of being arrested with our UN ambassador on the streets of Soweto trying to get to see him on Robbins Island.
You now say you weren't arrested and it didn't happen in Soweto. You were at the airport in Johannesburg and you were stopped from going through the door for blacks.
That face! That face! That face is just priceless, okay? It's a look of being lost and confused. Exactly what Sleepy Joe always feels on the inside. Always.
Here's something else you said this week. Take a look.
I'm a Democratic candidate for the United States Senate. Look me over. If you like what you see, help out. If not, vote for the other guy. Give me a look, though, okay?
You haven't run for the Senate since 2008. What happened there?
Yeah, because as I will say many times, Joe Biden has no clue where he is or what he is doing.
No, the context was, I said to everybody, I said, look, I'm going to say the same thing that I've always said. Like I used to campaign in Delaware. I'd say, I'd knock on the door. I say, my name is Joe Biden, Democratic candidate for the United States Senate. Look me over. If you like me, help me out. If not, vote for the other guy. That's a sentence I repeated throughout making the case. And I said, and I'm here now to ask you all to look me over. It was in the context of how I said I ran, because the context was that, as was pointed out by my my Cedric and others of my campaign and how I ran when I ran for the Senate was people will not, they expect you to ask them. You have to earn their vote. That was the context of that.
Okay, the thing is, if you actually watch the interview, right, he wasn't actually referencing back to what he used to say. No, like, if you watch it, he actually just forgot. He actually just thought he was running for Senate again.
South Carolina is going to determine who the next president of the United States is going to be. You really are. You're the ones that sent Bill Clinton to the presidency, and you're the ones that sent Barack Obama to the presidency. And I have a simple proposition here. I'm here to ask you for your help. Where I come from, you don't get far unless you ask. My name's Joe Biden. I'm a Democratic candidate for the United States Senate.
I mean, yeah, Chris Wallace went totally soft. I mean, these are just like surface level Biden gaffes, but still hilarious. But next in the interview, next comes up the topic of Trump. And
President Trump went after you about this at CPAC yesterday. Take a look at what he said.
Joe's not going to be running the government. He's just going to be sitting in a home someplace. And people are going to be running it for him.
Your response to the
Is
president?
Is that the stable genius saying that? Oh, give me a break. God love him.
oh, give me a break. God loving him. Oh.
I'm going to resist saying what I feel like saying.
No, go ahead.
I
Don't resist it. Go ahead, Mr. Vice President.
No, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to try to, assign names and insults to the stable genius.
You could call him a lying dog-faced pony soldier.
You're a lying dog-faced pony soldier.
This is a guy who doesn't know what he's doing. He doesn't know how to run the country. He is making us more unsafe the way he's responding to the coronavirus.
Joe, you don't even know what country you're in, and you think you can handle logistics? What a lying dog-faced pony soldier you are.
You're a lying dog-faced pony soldier.
And so I can hardly wait to debate him on stage. I want people to see me standing next to him and him standing next to me. We'll see who's sleepy.
Let me answer that right now. You're sleepy. Yeah, you're sleepy. It's you. It's clearly you. I mean, awfully bold. By the way, awfully bold thing to say after an interview like that. Okay, like then you're gonna call Trump the sleepy one. But check this out. Check this out. Okay, at the end of the interview, it turns out Joe Biden doesn't just not know what state he's in. He also doesn't know what network he's on. Thinks he's on MSDNC with Chuck Todd, apparently. Take a look.
Thank you. Thanks for your time. Please come back in less than 13 years, sir.
All right, Chuck. Thank you very much.
All right. It's Chris, but anyway.
Chris. I just did Chris. No, I just did Chuck. I tell you what, man, these are back to back. Anyway.
No, it's
I don't
okay.
know how you do it early in the morning, too.
Safe travels on the campaign trail. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
My favorite part? He tried to save himself, and he actually screwed up trying to save himself. Let's come on.
Chris, but anyway.
Chris. I just did Chris. No, I just did Chuck. I tell you what, man.
And this, by the way, was right after he said, quote unquote, let's see who's sleepy.
We'll see who's sleepy.
It's you, Joe. You're sleepy. You literally said 2 sentences later, as 2 sentences after saying, let's see who's sleepy. You literally said, I don't know how you do it in the morning.
I don't know how you do it early in the morning.
I mean, look, I'd forgive a gaffe here and there, but this happens all the freaking time. If he manages to get through a speech without accidentally saying something utterly stupid, he still stumbles on his words and generally makes no sense every time he speaks. His debate performances and rally speeches are just total train wrecks every single time, every single one of them. There is not one exception to this rule. This guy's brain is just too old. I mean, he cannot get the words out. And it's frankly just idiotic to see all these neoliberals go on about how Trump isn't fit for office or says stupid things or doesn't have the work ethic for the job. And then they go vote for this guy. Manufactured outrage. Downright, really. Biden can't even remember where he is because it's too early in the morning. But all the people who think Trump is unfit, they think this guy can make it through, say, like a Cuban Missile Crisis, right? Where the president has to go days without sleep. My gosh. And beyond what state or network he's in, does he even know what country or planet he's on? Clearly his mind isn't on planet Earth. And this is the guy, by the way. This is the guy that the Democratic establishment, trying to take down Bernie Sanders, has put their faith in. Okay, this is the guy that Buttigieg and Klobuchar have dropped out of the race to endorse. I mean, good luck. Good freaking luck. He doesn't have a clue what the heck is ever going on. Joe Biden has no clue what the hell he's doing. Think about this, folks. This is the sad state of our country, okay? The Democratic nominee will either be a crazed loonbag socialist who loves communists and hates America, or a senile old man who thinks the year is still 1969 and he's beating up Corn Pop at a segregated pool. Both are totally unfit to run the country. Totally. A presidency of either person would be highly dangerous. I mean, just for different reasons. But regardless, I'd prefer President Corn Pop over either of them. Anyways, that'll do it here for today. Be sure to like and subscribe to my channel. If you like my work, go support me on Patreon. Link in the description. It means a lot. And I'll see you guys later. Please have an epic and based and red-pilled day. See you guys later.